Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here. And we'll move to the second panel of the day, the one that we entitled Experts on Cooperation. And this is mainly addressing companies and persons that are already part of any form of cooperation, both sides of the border between Romania and Bulgaria. But I also feel the need to discover more about the most topical issues in energy in Bulgaria. And that's why I welcome Mr. Kaloyan Staykov presence for telling us a few words, maybe from a macro perspective on the Romanian energy sector, where it comes from, direction, main points of focus at the moment, in order to, for me at least, to make a comparison with Romania and try to find some common grounds. Mr. Staykov, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. It's of course a pleasure and an honor to be. I'm not sure. Can you?
If it's okay, Verde.
Should be. So it's a pleasure and an honor to be at such a conference with representatives from businesses who have actually worked on a lot of these projects that governments usually talk about. So usually the governments are saying how we should invest more, how we should be more energy efficient, how we should build solar panels, wind farms, and so on. But actually it's businesses that do it. And I think it's businesses that should be the main driver behind this. I had a different idea for a presentation, but the first panel was very interesting, so I got a couple of ideas from those speakers. So I apologize if I sound a little bit incoherent. First of all, I have to say I have the cynicism and skepticism of a much older man. I'm not that optimistic in the short term. I see a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. And of course, I'm saying this not to depress you or dishearten you. I'm saying this because seeing those challenges means that we can actually overcome them. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but in the next couple of years. First of all, the comparison with Japan was very interesting, and the moral of this story was, because Japan has had very high prices, and by the way, all of Asia is suffering from high energy prices, they are actually ready for this energy revolution. So high prices, of course, they hurt us, but actually they're the driving factor behind energy progress. If you think back, the renewable energy revolution came about due to high energy prices. Only it was the 70s, and it wasn't natural gas, it was oil. And this time, of course, natural gas is hurting us much more than oil, but this is the driving factor again, which can lead to innovation, which can lead to different business models, different technological solutions, and so forth. So I don't think high prices should be seen as some evil which should be fought at all costs. The second point I wanted to make is that energy policy should be at least regional, if not European-wide. This is something we're seeing, for example, with German energy prices. When German energy power prices are low, this is mostly due to favorable wind conditions. And when their prices are low, the neighboring countries' prices are a little bit higher, and the rest of Europe is basically doing their thing. When German power prices are very high, everywhere prices are high. I mean, the whole map just lights in red. Of course, there are some differences, but these differences are in the margin of 10, 20 euros, maybe something like this. So this is an issue, and I think this should be thought about a little bit more. It's not, this is, by the way, a lesson that Europe should have learned back in 2009, 2010 with the banking crisis, with the euro crisis. You can't have a union, you can't have a common market and different countries just doing whatever they want, and this not having a some kind of consequences for neighboring countries, and in some cases for Europe as a whole. So in this respect, I think energy policies in Europe should be much more regionally based, especially in terms of the cooperation between Romania, Bulgaria, and Greece. It's very easy to see in the energy sector where these countries can actually cooperate. And of course, it's very easy to create a much larger market, for example, demand for LNG, let's say, and actually negotiate on a regional basis. This is something the European Commission proposed a couple of months ago. This is, by the way, a solution that we've been talking about since 2009. At least I think these are my first memories about this. We should negotiate Europe-wide deliveries of natural gas. Of course, between 2009 and now, we didn't see any of this, but hopefully this could change. And again, the pioneer in this respect is going to be, again, this region, the Southeast European region. The other major issue is infrastructure. The last panel mentioned it a couple of times. This is very interesting. Infrastructure is kind of the very, very boring topic that we weren't talking about in the past 10 years. We were talking about renewable energy sources. We're talking about closing down coal power plants, replacing them with natural gas, because natural gas was much cheaper and it has lower carbon emissions. And it's very easy to make an energy transition when everything is cheap. Prices were generally decreasing in the past decade. And in 2018, 2019, we saw record low coal prices, natural gas prices, and of course, electricity prices. So until this point, it was very easy to make the energy transition. Now begins the fun part, because prices are going to be low for a while. Financial conditions are not going to be that favorable. And of course, governments have to be much more prudent in what kind of programs they're going to be stimulated. But infrastructure is one of those major issues. One of the presenters mentioned the 24,000 megawatt renewable energy sources that are waiting to be connected to the Bulgarian grid. And one of the reasons for this delay, of course, there are several, is that the grid is not prepared to actually connect them. We've seen this in Hungary, we've seen this in the UK. In the UK, for example, new renewable energy sources projects are forming a waiting list. They will be connected 2028, 2029, 2030. So you have a developer saying, I want to invest in your country, and the country saying, okay, that's fine. You can invest now, but you'll see your first cash flow in 10 years, which is just ridiculous. Of course, he's going to move the investment or not invest at all. So infrastructure, especially power infrastructure regarding renewable energy sources, is very important. We have to catch up the last 10 years because we didn't invest a lot. And of course, we have to invest even more in the next 10 years because plans are becoming much more ambitious. Companies are starting to see the benefit of actually investing in their own renewable energy sources, which changes the whole consumption profile of the country and so on. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, financial conditions are not going to be that favorable. In the past 10 years, we saw very loose fiscal policy, a lot of government programs encouraging, subsidizing different energy projects. We saw a very loose monetary policy, negative interest rates, very low corporate interest rates in commercial banking, and so on. The next 10 years, there's going to be some kind of a correction. As I said, I'm very pessimistic, but I'm sure interest rates are going to go up. So the average interest rate in the next decade is going to be considerably higher compared to the last one. This, of course, will make public funds available not so available. So there's going to be a scarcity there as well. And in this respect, governments will start to rethink what kind of programs they support. So we have to be much more conservative, and we have to weigh the pros and cons of investing in one thing rather than investing in another. A couple of months ago, the head of the French central bank said that if we want to achieve the energy and climate goals for 2030, governments will have to combine both resources and a lot of imagination to actually achieve them, which means we have to do something else. I mean, what we've done in the past 10 years maybe could have worked in the past 10 years, but now we have new opportunities, of course, but we have to find a new way to go forward and a new way to actually achieve the 2030 goals. The United States shale revolution was given as an example in different conversations, but again, this happened at the wake of the at the end of the previous financial crisis. So in this period, monetary policy was very low. Companies were being financed at very low rates. There were a lot of government programs. Basically, money was pouring into the economy at an unprecedented rate. This is not going to happen in the next 10 years. So what I'm trying to say is we should embrace high prices. We should use them to make us think about how we can innovate, how we can be better based on these high prices, because they're not going to go away the next couple of years, and maybe not ever. We should keep in mind that financial and fiscal opportunities are not going to be as vast and as unparalleled as they were in the past 10 years. So we should think hard about what we invest, why we invest in it, and what exactly do we want to achieve by this. And I'll stop here. I'm hoping for a lively discussion afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Staykov, for very provocative ideas. I feel like challenge you already, but I'll keep my ideas for later on. Nicușor, Stan, please, the floor is yours. I will prepare the presentation. I will make it visible immediately.
Hello, everyone. Gabriel? Okay, it's wonderful. It's possible to see my presentation. So, first of all, I want to thank you very much because Energynomics are inviting me in this event. I'm very, very honored to participate for this event. And I want to explain about ABB product and solution regarding the transportation. Because my name is Nicușor Stan. I'm local sales manager for all area Balcanică, including Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, and Hungary. I joined this project about 1.5 years. Before to join this project from ABB, I work for one bigger company in Romania. They are producing electrical EMU, electrical train and locomotive. Is the only #1 in Romania in this area Balcanică, not because they have another factory in Conchara is in Croatia, but in Romania, this company, private company, it was made very, very nice project regarding the transport, passenger transport, and freight cargo transport. And I want to show about how is born ABB, about our experience, knowledge, and how is born. ABB was born from two companies, ASEA from Sweden and BBC from Switzerland, before to 1985. We have this, after this to join a venture, we have this name, ABB Transportation. This name, ABB Transportation, they have until 1995. When in 1995, the name for the company was changed, because in the group is come new company, Daimler. This Aditrans, we have it before 2001. When in 2001, the company, it was sold to Bombardier. And as you know, I believe about this transaction for transfer from the Bombardier is right now is under umbrella for Alstom. From 2002, ABB is independent supplier and provider for many projects in old mode regarding the solution and system propulsion, starting motor, auxiliary converter, battery charger, LV component, low voltage component and medium voltage component. ABB every year are investing more than $1.3 billion. We have collaboration more than 100 university for all month. ABB have more than 8,000 R&D engineering and sciences. They have 7 research labs and approximately 45 R&D center. Regarding the traction division, ABB have from the 1982 in this location in Turkey. In this location, ABB producing traction converter regarding the railway. In this location, every year, ABB are producing more than 1,000 traction converter. From 2019, ABBs are open new factory in Baden. In this location, ABB is producing, I will show you later about this solution, energy storage system with battery. ABB have another factory in Germany, in Maiden. Another factory in Poland, in Lodz. In this location, ABB producing the traction converter for LRV tram and metro. In Italy, in Genova, the ABB are producing auxiliary converter for many applications. This is for regarding for the factory in Europe. Outside for Europe, ABB have factory in USA in Richmond, and another factory open from 2016 in India and Bangalore. In Romania are present for many years. They have 65 employers. They have background, product management, engineering, sales, and service. And short parenthesis, in Bulgaria, ABB have 5 factories, and they have around 600 employers. Is present for many years, and very happy because he's here and they invest in Bulgaria. Regarding the ABB traction product, ABB possible to provide starting from traction transformer, single system, B system, in oil, without oil, traction converter, traction motor, auxiliary converter, battery energy storage system, and fuel cells. All these components are present in train application, very high speed train, locomotive, dual electrical, diesel electrical, multiple EMU, multiple electrical system, metro, LRV vehicle, and this division e-buses with our proportion regarding electrical. This couple example. Regarding the mobility, what are possible to provide, starting for CC type for CC200 for electrical buses, because right now everybody buy for reduce this pollution in the city, buy the electrical buses, and the ABB are present for many years with our product. And repeat, starting for this type to CC200 for electrical buses. CC400 are using for LRV vehicle, metro, and people movers. Type CC750 are using for EMU, train, and metro. And type CC100,500, they are using for high-speed train and locomotive freight cargo. Auxiliary converter, I explained before, these products are made in Genova, and these locations are working around 400 people. They have 12 stand bench, automatical, and they are producing starting from battery charger, and ABB is possible to provide this system starting from 1 kilowatt until 200 kilowatt. All these products starting for from 2021, all products from ABB are using the technology silicon carbide. This technology silicon carbide offer from end user, not only for end user, and for us it give opportunity to reduce the losses about 30%. Not only this, but are give you the possibility to reduce the dimension for the cabinet, because you know in the space in the vehicle is very important and is very, very tough to find them to fit exactly the cabinet and the space find them. To not change, don't have it modify structure mechanical. Because when you have modified structure mechanical, must repeat more testing for authority, for yes, to repeat as the homologation, and this take it time and money investment. Okay, this is a world map about our product from 2021. How many pieces and where ABBs are present in project. Regarding our system with battery, our battery name is LTO. Our battery right now ABB put in the market. ABB is believe is #1 in all month because our battery is accepting discharging more than 20,000 cycles from the zero. In 1 hour, one operator passes to charging or discharging 3 cycles until 5 cycles. Not only this, ABB offer the warranty and the life for this battery 15 years, 15 years. After 8 years, ABB make evaluation in case and discover some cells and he have capacity under 80%, ABB change under warranty without penalty for the customer. Not only this, in all this, I repeat, warranty is 15 years. Charging about this battery is made low temperature, about 16 degrees. Operated about this battery is possible to operate -45 until 70, more than 70 degrees. You have power density huge, more than 511 watt per kilogram. How is made about this product, and I want to explain more in detail. This product, it was developed with the Toshiba. Toshiba provide us the seal. All this product is made in, I repeat, in Baden, factory in Baden. Starting for the mounting in the rack, welding the cell in serial cell, testing, it is made from the robot. All this operation is made for, I repeat, is made from the robot. In this factory, ABB is invest more. All this system is made and the factory is automated around 85%. Every year, ABB are producing this location in Baden more than 10,000 solutions for many applications, starting for railway, buses, LRV. All applications are present for many years. Okay, skip it. Couple example for Netherlands from 2018, recent product and project delivery. From 2014, I repeat because I'm coming from Romania. ABB are present from 2014 with one product from delivery in market for Romania. It was delivery in 2014. It was very huge success about this passenger train. In this product, in this project, ABB it was provide all system propulsion, starting from traction motor, traction converter, TSMS, traction control motor system, and 2 years ago, before to leave from this company, Softronic, the first train it finished first 6 years operated, about 1.8 million kilometer. It was, and right now it's working very good for the market. Romania is very, very good success about this project. Okay, couple example about electrical buses where ABB are present with in this city: Zurich, St. Gallen, Freiburg, Lausanne, Lucerne. And this city, ABB are provide solution for electrical buses And this city are requests from ABB to help to reducing the losses and to improve situation about this energy recover. ABB are present and repeat with our solution. Regarding the project, I want to explain about our opportunity to explain more about this. When an operator buy vehicle, don't care if it's electrical buses, locomotive, train, everybody must look very attention about this product, because one vehicle we are producing to working for minimum 25 years. And this 25 years minimum, everybody must to find in the market the spare part to repairing, to make the maintenance, preventive maintenance, to not to discover that after 6-10 years for operation cannot find them the producer in the market, and it's happened to have it to exist. This company is to request the end user to pay NRC cost, because the product cannot pass to find them in production. ABB never make this, and I discover in this region and in Bulgaria couple of project, and ABB is starting to invest more in this project to help end user to improve the situation, because end user is very angry, because right now they are paying more NRC cost to find them the spare part to repair the locomotive, train, and they cannot pass it to offer from end user passenger or for the respect the contract with good efficiency and to delivery and right time the contract, to respect the contract. This is very important. ABB, starting for last year, are present in Romania from 2 projects regarding LRV tram with our partner from Turkey, Bozankaya. For the moment, ABB are with Bozankaya delivery from 2 cities in Romania, Timișoara and Iași. In Timișoara, it was request to install for LRV tram to have this battery energy storage system. From 6 months when they started to operate this tram, feedback from the end user is very good, because end user, local public transport from Timișoara, sent us one letter and she informed ABB with after 6 months for operator, they are recover energy with operator with battery without to consume for energy, because when this crisis and this price grew up very fast about energy, they are recover and it's possible to operate to not grow up the price for the ticket for the people. This is very important this moment. Another case, one evaluation about ABB made from the ABB. In case in the extent for the catenary for 2 direction, the local public transport must invest $500,000. In case in mounting energy storage station, they must to invest the half, about this 200,050 euro. It's no more, but it's offer possibility to extend operation, because all country is build new city near from the near city, old center, and everybody want to extend operation in this city to have access to moving the people, because everybody using the car, and this possibility in this modality possible to reduce the pollution in the city. Thank you very much for the time. And
thank you, Nicușor Stan, for the initial presentation. We'll come back and ask some question also about the difference and similarities between Romania and Bulgaria. I will now give the floor to Angelov, Key Account Manager, CSI Signify, with also a presentation prepared for us, talking about lighting, I suppose.
Hello everyone, I hope you hear me well. The remote control. Okay. Signify is probably unknown to you, but you know us as a Philips Lighting. This is our new brand. As a company, it's a very old company. Philips is the first one who started the mass production of well-known electrical bulbs. Also, we are the first one who started the mass production of retrofit LED bulbs. In 2012, we've developed the Smart City, so-called Philips City Touch system, and Philips Hue, which is a smart home lighting system by us. Philips Lighting separated from Royal Philips in 2015, which is important, and from 2018 we are merged all our brands by the brand of Signify. Today I'm going to show you how we are going to be prepared for this new future about energy. I'm not going to show you, unfortunately for you, some nice buildings, some nice homes. These are our global brands: Philips, Interact. Interact is our brand for Internet of Things platform. Color Kinetics, WIS, and Modular. The world is changing, and we as a company are preparing for all these new global trends. The population is growing, the resources are missing more and more on the market, and the digitalization is something new in our new reality. So, very shortly, previously, as a company, as a market, everyone was structured on processes, on behavior of the people, on the judgment. Now we are more focused on economical, on ecological point of view, and on our social behavior. So if we can describe previously, here we had so-called linear society. I mean, we are consuming, we are focusing on GDP, we are having some product, we are throwing it. So more and more we are facing on a circular economy, which means to produce such kind of products which can be reused or repaired very easily. This is what you mean previously. It was more is better, so to consume more. Now it's much better to have something good. We are focusing on closed system cycles, on services, and on quality of metrics. So now people are focused more on their life, what the quality of life we have, than what kind of GDP we have. Our building blocks for our sustainable development, the technology, policy frameworks, what we develop together with institutions, financing, and communication. About the technology, this is one example which I can give you. For products we produce, every luminary, we are trying to make it with replaceable driver, with controls and mechanical parts. Every luminary should be very efficient and should meet the recent standards available on the market. Here are listed the most popular products which we produce and meet this requirement. Also something new, not very nice slide, but more focused on what you have. We are focusing since 3 years on 3D printed products. We are developing in that direction mainly because 2 reasons. It's more ecological to produce such kind of products. I mean, no paint to paint them. They have less parts, less screws, by their production, sorry, we are consuming much less energy than by producing the regular luminaries. This efficiency can reach up to 75% less carbon emissions, for example, in specific products. And also all of our product range, which is 3D printed, they are fully 100% recyclable. I'm very proud that Bulgaria is leading in our region. And although you as a consumers do not see it, but for example, in many stores which you buy food every day, I will not mention brands, but we have already installed such kind of products. Or for example, very soon, okay, I will say it, in the art gallery of Yambol, all of it will be equipped with 3D printed projectors. Technology is advancing. And of course, by developing technology, we're aiming to make the life better for consumers, for the economy, and for the environment. This is what is the evolution of lighting, if I may say so. Previously, unfortunately, in many segments in Bulgaria, also this is what was known as lighting. I mean, bulb or a tube. So you have a bulb, you replace it. We're leading in Eastern Europe with already, this is, we may say, a second stage. We're building the light systems. So all of the lighting in a building or in a street, if we're talking about cities, is built in a system which is already, as a third phase, by Internet of Things, we are integrating in a whole ecosystem. That means if we're talking about a building, integrating into the BMS system of a building, so that lighting can be part of the whole management system of a building. Or if we talk about the city, we also provide a solution which combines internet integrated in the poles, so that every pole does not have only lighting on top, but we provide also internet, video surveillance, and all type of services which is important for the municipality to monitor the traffic, to watch about the crime levels, etc. About the energy and climate change. Oops. The most important is not showing. Is it there? There are some tables below. I don't know what. Do you see them? Or next? Shit. Okay, I will tell you. Here. Sorry. Let's start again. Okay. Can you just make it bigger? Okay. Okay, this is the statistics, I know it, so let's see. I'm sorry that you don't see the table, but now you will imagine lighting share of global electricity cost. In 2006, the 20% of all costs for electricity was responsible, the lighting was responsible for 20% of all costs. 2015 already, by introducing the LED lighting, that levels came to 15%, and the target is to 2030 we should reach 8%. With all these rising prices, I think we may reach that even much closer. LED lighting share, all of this is because of introducing the LED lighting to the market. 2010, the LED lighting was 1% of all the lights. 2030, we will be 90%. So the lighting sector, these are the waves of innovation, which I shortly described to you before. The so-called conventional lighting, or the bulbs, the so-called bulbs, the LED lighting, and the future, what we see is system and services and light as a language. We combine this in a smart IoT platform, which is developed based on the different segments which we are focused to. This means if we are serving a city, we may provide a solution so that city can track and monitor all the luminaires on every street, how much energy they consume, are they working properly. We have preventive maintenance, so if something's going to happen to some luminary, we have a signal. And we give it to the people which are actually doing the maintenance and change the luminary before it gets broken. Probably many of you don't know, but Varna is one of the cities in Bulgaria which is using such kind of system, and so far it's working great for more than 5 years. For other advantages, for example, for industry or for office, the luminaires can be adapted that way that you can reduce costs when no one is present in some room. Or, for example, in the office, very often are fights between colleagues. Do we need to have the lighting on or do we need to be off? This can be decided very well, because through mobile phone everyone can control the lighting above themselves. By the retail, I will tell you something which happened very soon. The retail chains, for them is very important. This is why I told you light as a language. We have developed luminaires which are available to give signals to the property owners. Where are people walking? How many times they stay before every shelf? Which will support them to give us better offers through their application, or to assist you in the shopping experience. For example, if you are a woman and you go to Practicare or Monsieur Bricolage and you want to buy some tool for your man, you don't know where the tools are, you put this tool on your application and we will guide you through the lighting on the correct space. So the second topic about the new present, the policy frameworks. The technology breakthrough is not always welcome, so the policies by the government should adopt the innovation, the new technologies, so that they can be offered to the communities and to us as citizens. This is why we're trying to take measures who should boost the demand of more efficient products. Previously, even a year ago, many investors did not calculate it and did not think that efficient lighting was something important. But due to this higher energy prices, now I can assure you that many people and companies and also municipalities are calculating every single euro, and as effective lighting we offer them, much better for them. For the government policy frameworks, what I can add, these are some targets that also government, that all building renovations should be increased. We should support renovation of residential buildings, commercial buildings, and public buildings. So the idea of Europe is to have the 2050 vision of net zero carbon building stock. Here are some just data, the 4 key efficiency areas. Buildings as a big energy consumers, also, and electric vehicles. The innovations can be obtained faster by using certain financial mechanisms. We all now speak about this green switch. Hopefully it will start faster, but also especially municipalities, for example, they are using the typical ESCO business models. And the sustainability, we are focusing on communication so that we show to the people that we care about environment and we want to make them also care about everything. That's all. We are using many communication models. The benefits of new transition, the new society for sure will have create new jobs, will have energy savings and energy security, which is very important for us. The communication I told you, we use different channels and also this platform today to show you our future, how we describe it. Thank you.
Thank you for the new light on this topic. I used to discuss with your colleagues in Romania for some years, and now we have this series of conferences dedicated to energy efficiency in the main cities in Romania, and Signify was frequently part of this conversation. I'm very curious in finding out more about Bulgaria. You mentioned several times the leading position in the region. I'm curious to discover more. Before the conversation, I will give the floor to Dragomir Tzanev for the closing prepared speech for today, representing EnEffect and talking about a clear example of cooperation between institutions, organizations from different countries, Bulgaria and Romania among them.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the kind invitation. It came the other day, so I had to prepare very quickly, but better late than never, because it's really, really important to precisely describe these cooperation patterns. It's a complex task because they're in many different areas, but I'll try to set up a story. And I'll take the opportunity also from the previous speakers. Thanks for the great presentations. For example, Angel took off the burden from me to explain about the multiple benefits of energy efficiency. This is what we usually talk about. And Kaloyan was very, very provocative, but I tend to very much agree that the economic cycle is a strange animal, curious animal, and we are provoked precisely by the crisis, by the high prices, to invest and push innovation. If you take a step back, we missed the opportunities to use the free money that were on the market to invest in energy efficiency, energy saving technology, in infrastructure that is really needed. We are talking about that, you said, since 2009 about common purchases, joint purchases of gas. We are talking about renovation, 3% renovation that was shown since 2002 in my earlier memories. We're talking about ambitious building standards since 2002 in the first Energy Performance of Building Directive, but it is not coming into practice in periods when we have relative stability. Now we are prompted very harshly to push into that. And I guess this would be a turning point. After the first petrol crisis, we are at a point where there is no step back, and we heard that, by the way, yesterday. So, to move to the topic of the presentation, I thought of how to make up a story about our collaboration with Romania. And at the end of the day yesterday, I thought, okay, our collaboration story with Romania is the story of our organization. Our organization is EnEffect. It was established 30 years ago, presumably predominantly as a policy consultant, but even back then, we quickly understand that a policy consultant and such is not worth on the market. The policy consultant should establish and support the market to take up innovation. Precisely what Angel mentioned, how they are approaching the policy debate. And that's why we invested in establishing technical capacity. We are doing energy audits of buildings, of industrial system, of street lighting system, supporting precisely such kinds of innovation. And we also thought, okay, technical consultation is a good thing. But we also need innovative financial instruments to be supportive to the market. So then we engage in the Bulgarian Energy Efficiency and Renewable Sources Fund. And for 15 years, despite all the controversy in the financial schemes and subsidies programs that were adopted at certain stages when public financing was available, abundant, I was searching for the word. And this fund had to compete with 100% subsidy schemes. It was very hard because it doesn't offer grants, doesn't offer subsidies, but it still runs, it's still alive, despite that many people are not happy with that. And having that technical consultancies and financing instruments, we were a preferred partner for the local authorities because they lack precisely that. They lack technical consultancy, technical skills, they cannot identify, they cannot develop, they cannot implement good projects, and they need access to a secure and trustable financing instrument. And at the end of the day, this is where we ended up. Our financing is predominantly on European collaboration projects like Horizon, like LIFE at the moment. And this is where we get our expertise, and this is where we establish our cooperation with Romanian companies. And these are the areas that we would like to offer to your attention as important, and areas that you can also find relevant partners in Romania, partners that are with proven quality and capacity to deliver results. So first things first, energy planning. We are talking here about municipalities, but it also refers very much about businesses. Energy planning is something that we started probably 25 years ago, again with a Romanian organization, Romanian Energy Cities Network. They're the energy manager of the city of Brașov, but also very active. We recently did a project with them where we resumed our cooperation, and energy management is not an easy thing. It's a complex thing. We had to combine our common knowledge to design a new platform to help municipalities and facility managers, building owners, to really be able to identify the right projects at the right time and channel to them the right financing. That's the key thing in every kind of business related to the building sector. And we have a platform that is absolutely free for use of the Bulgarian municipalities. That is also used by financial instruments. The National Trust Eco Fund was the first user of the platform because they saw that they can monitor the results of their investments, and that's absolutely crucial for the success of the business story. So this is how it looks like. It's not anything surprising or fancy, but it's useful to identify the right thing at the right plan, and we move further, of course. Then from the plans for the management system, we're going to do good quality projects that are reaching Class A, because this is where we want to reach, and this is what pays off at the end of the day, because it also means quality. And we had the excellent opportunity also to work on the development of the building certification, again with Romanian organizations. So here it is the International Association of the Heating Engineers, RIVA, which is dominated by Romanian engineers, and here is the Urban In-Charge Institute, which I would mention many times again in the next slides, that we designed a wholly new approach to the building certification process, and we introduced it in the pilot process. But then again, buildings are not the only thing, and as we know, as we were just explained, it's an ecosystem. And from buildings, which are something that we all know, and it's very close to us, we had to move at a more comprehensive framework, and again we did that with the support of Romanian partners, which is the Romanian Green Building Council. So we jointly entered the ecosystem of the European Energy Award, which is one of the most established energy management methodologies and initiatives in Europe, mostly available in Western Europe, but we are expanding to Eastern Europe as well, because it's excellent tool to monitor and to maintain quality in the municipal projects. We know what's the quality of the municipal projects. It's very bad, to put it mildly. So now we need something that can push them up and bring them up to the best practices, and hopefully it would pay off. We started modestly, I would say, with a few cities, but it grows. In Romania, which are several years ahead of us in that process, we have excellent examples. Probably the city of Cluj is the most famous one, but the other cities that you see here, even smaller, they are also moving with strong steps. And we also convince Sofia municipality, which is absolutely unimaginable several years ago, to get involved in that. I don't know where it would lead us, but hopefully to better times. We also involved our headliners of Gabrovo, which are one of the best performing cities in that, and also the city of Dobrich to join it. Now we're moving towards certification under the European Energy Award. We're moving towards action plans for development. We're moving towards recognition at the European level, because this is what they really need in their internal policy action. So we are moving to Luxembourg at the end of October to present the good things that are happening in Bulgaria and Romania, and see how we can advance with that initiative even further. And then municipalities financing municipalities, always the correlation is very important. But here, the energy management methodology of the European Energy Award is very interesting with that it is very targeted to the end users. And at the end of the day, municipalities are working to develop the attitudes of their stakeholders, which are the citizens and the local businesses. So we had to have something for everyone, and a great opportunity was to, again, with the Romanian Green Building Council, to introduce the green homes, green mortgage schemes that are quite popular in Romania already. As far as I know, several months ago there were already 6 banks, Romanian, that offered green mortgage scheme. We tried to introduce it with quite a lot of efforts. The banking sector is quite conservative when there is no crisis. So it was not precisely easy to work with that. But now we still that the biggest Bulgarian banks are already offering that, and they're communicating green mortgage scheme and other supportive scheme for energy efficient buildings, to put it in most generic way, in the cities. We recently opened an office, energy efficiency consulting office, in the city of Gabrovo, and the banks are there. The banks are there promoting their products and services, which is an excellent investment, because at the end of the day, what would make the difference would be the citizens. So if we want policies to work, if we want that businesses would have interest towards their activities and better condition to work in the cities, we need to convince the local stakeholders, the local people, that it makes sense. It's the future, it's beneficial for their everyday life, and that's very difficult, and nobody starts even to think about that. I can give you the example with the Bulgarian renovation program. There is not a single cent put for communication with the final beneficiaries. Why? Because it's difficult, because it's not in the mainstream way of thinking of our policymakers, but someone has to do it in the end, and I hope that we're providing a good example that can be taken up at large scale. One of the examples that I would like to show to you is, again, with Urban InCharge and the ProEnZep cluster, which are a Romanian organization, again, under Horizon. We are talking about nearly zero energy buildings and how they benefit your everyday life. And to expand a little bit the geographic scope, we started in Croatia with that excellent Muza demo mobile EnZep house, which we designed, delivered, and it has already been in Croatian cities, attracting huge interest for all kinds of groups, but more important from schools and universities, and it being an excellent example. We combine the work of these demo mobiles with training, education courses, with product exhibition. We place the businesses close to the people, and it pays off. These are already examples from Romania. The Romanian caravan, the Romanian mobile unit has traveled to Bucharest, to Iași, to Brașov. I think these are pictures from Brașov, and it was very, very good. What we hear from our partners there, that the interest is extraordinary, and they're continuing planning such public events with the support of the local authorities. We've been to Bulgaria.
many cities, it hasn't been easy. So we started with all visits, and sometimes it's been a very long experience. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it starts. I can give you an example of how it works. But with some media players, some media work, with some prominent, let's say, policymakers that we have involved and push them to engage with. Our house it pays off, and then we moved to Burgas, then we moved to Gabo earlier this year, and we worked with the nurse again, and it's starting to go, it's starting to work. And we're building our own passive house caravan. It's going to enter into the equation as well, and we'll continue because we are fully convinced that without that without placing stakeholders together, including professional audiences, deals, without taking the responsibility to stand up and speak in front of public, change is not going to happen, and change happens in communication. First, through communication. Here are the channels, some of the channels that you could use for further information about our activities, jointly with our Romanian colleagues. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention and questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the huge volume of information you delivered to us in such a short time. Thank you very much, all the speakers. And I open the session for conversation. Please, Dragomir, we just sit here and I will join you there. And if you have questions or comments, please feel free to show us your intention. Show me your intention. I'll come to you with a microphone. I have some questions for you, and I start with the first speaker of this session because he had the longest period of waiting before his moment. So, Mr. Staykov, I said earlier that your comments are very provocative, and I'll make maybe a short comment on your idea that things haven't changed enough in the good direction during the low energy prices period of time. And I think that was precisely the reason, because the energy was too cheap for the final consumer to care, for industry to give it them, for the politicians even to get interest in the subject. The problem is that at this moment, the prices are too high. And instead of having the serenity to action, to make some plans for 3, 4, 5 years in front of us, we are, politicians more precisely, very tempted to cap, to subsidize, to overtax, windfall profits, and things like this. So I don't know if exactly the moment at present is a good one or a bad one for taking action into energy efficiency and moving faster in this transition. But I suppose that it takes some months to clarify this. What we very importantly miss now is some form of predictability for 3, 4, 6 months from now, I suppose. And when this will happen, probably the projects will be once again, more than ever. Will be very, very huge number of projects. I don't know if I made my point clear.
So what are high or low prices? The price is basically the representation between, it's the midpoint where supply meets demand. So if prices are high, this means that either demand is high or supply is low. And again, if prices are low, it means it's the other way around. So what we're seeing now is that we have high prices for natural gas, which are driving prices for electricity. So if we solve the natural gas problem, electricity prices are going to return to normal levels. And prices of gas are high because there's low supply. This is basically the situation. And maybe demand is a little bit higher because it was overstimulated in the past couple of years due to COVID measures and so on. So how do we solve this? Either we replace Russia with somebody else, which is difficult in the this year or next year, although next year the situation is going to be much better, but it's possible in the year after. So by 2024, the situation in terms of gas supply is going to be much, much different. In terms of demand, of course, in the short term, it's much easier to kind of suppress demand. And we've already seen this because of high prices. This is the so-called price destruction of demand. We saw it last year in the Asian market, where the price of natural gas was so high that companies started switching away from natural gas and towards coal. We're seeing it this year in Europe. Basically, we're kind of a year behind. So this is the situation right now.
What will happen if, for me, a very nice scenario, the Ukrainian army throw away the Russian from the country? There is a change of politics in Moscow, and we'll have once again full access to cheap gas in 6 months from now, say, maybe 3 months from now. Will that stop the efforts for energy transitions? Will we forget about, I don't know, heating pump, hydrogen, and everything else?
Well, of course, even now when Russia is cutting supply, even last year when Russia was refusing to increase supply, although they had the opportunity to, you've heard both sides of the argument. One side was saying, well, we can't rely on Russian supplies, so we should diversify, we should invest in energy efficiency, alternative sources, and so on. And the other side was saying, no, this it's too expensive. Russian gas is so cheap, it's so reliable. We should do anything possible to just secure this source of supply. Exactly. This is so. These sides of the argument are going to go forward, in my opinion, and it's up to society in general to decide which way they want to go. Either they want to go towards the cheap solution, which of course is very unreliable, because at any point prices can go up, as we saw last year, even without the war, and any other point supply can go down, as we saw this year. And it wasn't because of the war, because Russia hasn't actually declared war on Ukraine, which is a whole other discussion. Mm-hmm. So in both scenarios, we have a huge uncertainty regarding prices from Russia, and we have a huge uncertainty regarding supplies from Russia. And in this case, if societies in general decide to bet on Russia to actually supply them with cheap energy, well, it's basically their fault. If they choose the alternative, then we're going to pay a short-term higher price because of the transition. But overall, we're going to have much more security of supplies, much more predictability, and a trend towards cheaper energy sources. The same we saw after the 70s crisis, in terms both of oil, in terms of natural gas, in terms of coal. And something I didn't mention earlier, in this case, in this current situation, Europe is facing an energy scarcity crisis. So in terms of energy scarcity, we need more energy. I mean, primary energy of all sorts. So in this respect, we're still talking about closing down coal plants, reducing their production, and so on and so forth. Eventually, this is going to happen. It's inevitable. I mean, coal power plants were being thrown out of the market in 2018, 2019, because prices on the market were so low. But right now, in terms of scarcity, prices are again higher. So it doesn't make sense to close down these power plants. This is maybe something I didn't elaborate on. Businesses should be the driving force behind this energy transition, and governments should just give the framework and say, this is our goal, and you figure out how to achieve this, because this is your job. You're the innovators, you're the risk takers, you're the risk managers, and so on, and we are the ones that actually have the vision for the future, or something like this. Mm-hmm. So this is, I think, something that we've missed in the past 10 years. We've had governments and administrators saying this technology is very good, so we invest in this, and this one is good, and this one we don't like.
One thing that happened in the last 12 months is that even in Germany, the confidence that Russia is a reliable provider of gas is shattered to the ground. I think there are very few, those who still consider in public, at least, that we can count on Russia as a commercial partner from now on. At the same time, what happened in the recent years is, I think, and I question you, that the public, the audience, the people seem to understand finally that the solution for the future is electricity, and green electricity, if possible. My question goes to Nicușor Stan. Have you seen any differences in approaches in the local municipalities, especially you talked in Romania and in Bulgaria, in respect with going
Yes,
forward
to approach this new technology. Yeah, it is.
electromobility,
Yeah.
electric buses?
Everyone is looking about this because regarding the railway, because I represent the traction division, Romania government and I discover in here in Bulgaria are looking and everybody are starting to working for publish the tender. Government Bulgaria want to buy new train to improve the situation about this transport for the passenger. And Romania, regarding Romania, Romania is starting to publish and to working for the huge tender to buy. Romanian government want to buy the more 100 train, MO train. In regarding our region, Balkan, because I represent all area Balkanic, this tender, it doesn't happen for more than 20 years. It's needed.
The new era.
Yeah,
begins.
yeah, it is. With our this program, Recovery and Resilience Plan, give opportunity for all country, for all this region, Balkan, to starting to work very, very hard about this project to pick up the money from your fund to buy new technology, new vehicle to change this mobility for the people, because it's needed. All city, for all country, for all region is very, very tough situation about this transport. This
We saw
must to look
the other day, yesterday here in Sofia, a lot of people, a lot of young people on the streets in the afternoon and in the evening, and they all are, all they ask is clean air, less pollution, less
This is
noise.
everybody was happy when this happened, this bad situation about the crisis, COVID-19.
Another question for you. I haven't seen your presentation. I'm curious if ABB and you are personally involved in
100 train, MO train. In regarding our region, Balkan, because I represent all area Balkanic, this tender, it doesn't happen for more than 20 years. It's needed.
the new era.
Yeah,
begins.
yeah, it is. With our this program, Recovery and Resilience Plan, give opportunity for all country, for all this region, Balkan, to starting to work very, very hard about this project to pick up the money from your fund to buy new technology, new vehicle to change this mobility for the people, because it's needed. All city, for all country, for all region is very, very tough situation about this transport. This
We saw
must to look
the other day, yesterday here in Sofia, a lot of people, a lot of young people on the streets in the afternoon and in the evening, and they all are, all they ask is clean air, less pollution, less
This is
noise.
everybody was happy when this happened, this bad situation about the crisis, COVID-19.
Another question for you. I haven't seen your presentation. I'm curious if ABB and you are personally involved in some way in hydrogen powered trains.
Yeah,
Because there are
ABB
also
is one shanty locomotive with for hydrogen, Balkanic cannot pass to find the one strong because now losing the hydrogen is very, very special
does the customer needs the cheapest one or the best one? Sometimes it's different.
You also had one slide with the LED lighting share, the one with which was not visible. Okay. Do you have such numbers for various countries in the region, and we can eventually find out if Bulgaria had
it depends a lot.
bigger
I mean, you specifically talk about Bulgaria or Romania, or
the region you are responsible with, and if
yes, there are specific statistics, of course, but unfortunately, the market is divided very strictly. You know, there are consumer products which we buy every day from the shop, like these LED products, or other products which are much more specific. For example, luminaires, which you put in the industry facility. So the market can be measured only during some specific groups, not also as a whole. But
maybe
for
you
me,
can help me to find the statistic from your group, because I think that
I can send you this.
You being a leading player in this field, statistics from your part would be relevant for the markets themselves.
Yes, I'm talking about the innovative, the IoT solutions.
Okay, thank you. And to you, it was very nice to discover so many common areas, because you didn't mention the names, but Mrs. Camelia Raț is one of our guests frequently in the events, or Horia Petrana. I spoke with him 2 months ago, I suppose, in an interview online. People who you are working with. I haven't seen on that map Hungary. Why is not?
Interesting question. Interesting question, because there've been a few collaborative projects with Hungary, but there, to me, I'm not the one to judge, obviously, but to me there is obvious lack of sustainability in the policies at national level. And quickly changing priorities. Yes, lack of continuity.
Okay.
Lack of
they
continuity.
change.
Yes. So, for example, Hungary was one of the proactive countries in the beginning of the millennium when we are talking about building renovation. They were one of the first to support it financially, and also to establish building project managers as a business unit, which would go and convince the people to invest additionally in renovation. At the moment, there is practically nothing in Hungary to support energy renovation as such. There's certain renovation programs, but with social criteria and not related to energy. So that's one thing. We're talking about energy poverty very often with Hungarian partners, and they are really finding out that there are critical deficiencies that have not been addressed in the past 5 or they'll say even more years. So that's one of the things that messes up the the development pathway.
Before your answer, I made my own hypothesis on this, and I thought that maybe most of the organizations in Hungary tend to work with partners in the western part of Europe, not necessarily in the eastern part, Romania, Bulgaria, and Greece, but mainly in Austria, Germany, I suppose. I don't know if that's correct.
I do not have that impression precisely, because we do have stable partnerships there, and that's for many years, and there's been a positive exchange.
We'll see in a month. We'll be in Budapest, and we'll try to find out more about.
I still believe that there is an internal dynamics there which expects the right moments to grow, but it's a difficult situation.
You talked about EnEffect being the preferred partner for local municipalities. How do you manage that? I think that is a very desired position from many types of organizations.
That's a strong statement. So yes, many municipalities are willing to work with us, first of all, because we provide advice on various aspects of the project design and management, which is not the usual contractor relation that they have.
So you are independent. They are not afraid that talking about the company would raise some questions.
Yes, precisely. They're not afraid that after the contract expires, we'll be often running away. And that's also the way, the reason that they prefer some of these headliner municipalities prefer to work with suppliers like Philips, or try to find ways to provide better quality for the money. But I would say that unfortunately that is a very small portion of the municipalities, like a few innovators that are running the scene and getting some visibility. The huge majority is still depending on lowest cost scenarios, and that's a trend that we have to oppose and to fight together.
You mentioned also a platform for the cities and financing institutions. Is this platform open and used by Romanian entities?
In Romania, there are alternative platforms developed in Romanian language, which is very important, and adapted to the national norms and regulations, which is also very important. But still, in countries in the region that do not have that luxury, because Camelia Rața has worked on that for 20 years now, the platform that we designed together with her and with the support of the German government is open, free to use, no costs related, and available in national language. Of course, they cannot use the full functionality we have developed for the Bulgarian municipality.
I am interested in a formula, in a form of mixing the data so that you can have some comparison in different cities for different indicators, I don't know, consumptions, results after intervention, something like that. Who runs that, and who owns the data, who can aggregate that?
So, first of all, the data is hugely important for the project owners or for the building owners. They can compare it and they can find deficiency or irregularities which could be a subject of technical inconsistencies, some failures, some problems with the equipment, or even to human mistake, or even worse, by stealing. That happens. So we have to be absolutely honest. So if someone steals, you would see that in the platform
abnormal
immediately.
behavior.
And then the other thing is, by using this platform, first of all, you can identify the right project and see which project has the potential to be targeted immediately to a market-based financing mechanism, which has attractive financial terms and which should wait for the right public support mechanism. Because what we do now, that we channel the best projects to the 100% subsidies, and we leave the worst projects without any chance to get financing. And that's why we are using energy planning and energy management to be able to make the best use of the scarce public resource. And that's why we need such platforms. And it's not only in Bulgaria, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
One more question about the numbers. You also had a slide with 5 people involved in this kind of activities from the municipality of Sofia, 12 people from Gabrovo. Okay, it's evident that people in Gabrovo are more interested, more active, engaged in such activities. But is this 12 a good, reasonable number? It's high? Because one of the answers we get from the Romanian municipalities is, I cannot afford to hire a man for this. I cannot afford to have, I don't know, 2 people involved in such things. Okay, having 12 people in Gabrovo, it is incredible, and I cannot imagine how it happens.
When we started this European Energy Awards thing in Gabrovo, the mayor gathered 30% of their whole staff, 110 people working for the municipality in Gabrovo. So 40 people in the room, sitting for 1 full day to be explained by us what we are doing, how it would go, how can we support the citizens, what is needed from whom in the municipality. And at the moment we're working, believe me or not, with the head of the legal department of Gabrovo municipality, is the most active protagonist of energy efficiency projects, energy communities, that kind of stuff. So that's how there's a culture there. While in Sofia, we developed for the past 2 years a sustainable energy and climate plan on the covenant of mayors. Trust it's a very, very dependable one. It was approved by the municipal council in December, and in March they didn't vote for the budget of it. So basically there is no political leadership, and political leadership is traded.
That's the key. Political leadership is a top-down approach.
Yeah, you have to meet them both, the bottom-up and the top-down approach, but without one missing it, without the support of the administration, it's hard to go further on.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and we can go on very much longer than that, but we will have to stop here. If no question or comments from your side, I thank you very much, and thank you the speakers for putting some flesh on these ideas, getting a discussion on regional approach Romania, Bulgaria in terms of energy. And maybe one final comment. It is completely unbelievable. No, you cannot expect that anyone in the public or one of you to be interested in all the topics we covered. It cannot be. One person to be interested in hydrogen, in heat pumps, in lightings and motors, converters, and all those things, and Z buildings, etc. Maybe except for myself and my colleagues in Energynomics, because we are interested in all those topics in order to make the platform better, to make the platform a better home for such subjects. And the idea is that some of those who were here in the room took something from you and left. The same way, people entering into Energynomics.ro, we found something important, interesting in one section of the others. And we'll try to continue to do this with different channels, with YouTube, with mails, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much for the wealth of information you gave to us, and looking forward for the next meeting and next form of cooperation in the near future. Thank you. That would be all.